And action.
I started out as a photographer, stills photographer. When I was 15 years old, I worked at a barbecue restaurant. I made like $6.25 an hour. And I saved up over a year to buy my first digital SLR. It's the Nikon D80. And now you can buy it for like $20. It was $1,000 at the time, so it took me a long time to save up, and I got that, and I started shooting photos of my friends, and that it was like a hobby, you know, for a couple years in high school, and but I fell in love with it, and I never went anywhere without my camera. And when I was 20, I ended up moving to Germany. I went to this school, and that's where I fell in love with more documentary style photography and portraiture of different people around the world. I got to go to India and Bangladesh and China. And in China, I upgraded my camera to a Nikon D600. But that camera had a 1080p video in it. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll try my hand at video now. And I made a documentary about hope and what these different Chinese people put their hope in. I went around, interviewed 7 different Chinese people. One of them was like a break dancer. One of them was a Buddhist monk that had lived on a mountain for 20 years. And I just asked them, like, what do you put, you know, where do you place your hope and what's your definition of hope? And I ended up cutting together this 20-minute documentary showing these people doing what they put their hope in and hearing them. And that ended up going to a film festival in the city I lived in, Suzhou, China, and I won some awards, and I took home $800 US. I learned very quickly filmmaking is a much more complex, not that photography isn't complex, but now I had music, dialogue, you know, from shot to shot, the pacing, the editing, and so I started studying like crazy on YouTube, and I didn't go to film school, but I was always reading different books and studying and watching movies and thinking about it more. And I think after that, I got my first like job for like a nonprofit where they hired me for like $500 to make a video and shoot the video and edit it and everything. And I guess that's how I got into the industry. I remember when I first started freelancing, especially like I shared, when I kind of wanted to get away from like the really small jobs that just are time consuming but you're not making very much money, and I wanted to get into like the higher end jobs where you're making a day rate rather than like an hourly rate or something. And I remember my wife and I were living in a loft downtown, and there was many times where like weeks would go by and I wouldn't get a job. And you know, I'm kind of somebody that I like to work, so I love shooting, you know, that's what it's my passion, it's not only my job. So I try to stay inspired by I'd have to create my own work. If nobody was hiring me, I just, you know, directed my own stuff and shot it and then added that to my reel, and which would end up getting me more and more work. I've continued since 2014 to make like a short film every year, and some of them have been bigger and some of them have been smaller, but at least it gets that creativity and that inspiration flowing. I love narrative work, narrative feature films. That's the goal. Then I think on the directing side, I would love to do more work, and I have a feature film outline for a film that I think I would be great to tell. It's personal to me, and so I'd love to be able to make that, but feature films cost a lot of money, so we'll see. I'm just gonna keep that on the, you know, back burner till, you know, that comes around or something. But yeah, definitely be working in the movie industry. Like that's what I want to do. And I think besides the films that I've been making as the little steps, I also worked with a director over the last 5 or 6 years on probably about 10 projects. So each one of those is definitely a little step towards like the goal.